Thank you, Moose. That's very nice of you. Test. Test. We're good. What's up, Jack? Mr. Bob Dylan, how are you? Josh, how you doing? Manny, checking in from the Bronx. How are you, good sir? We got some interesting news here, chat. We had some interesting news right before we went live here. What's up, Assassin? Tyler O'Neill headed to the 10-day IL, and Manuel Valdez back up, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube handles your name. What's up, Daniel? I'm doing good, Jack. How you doing? What's up, Ethan? Yeah, Tyler O'Neill. Sorry, I'm just setting up the camera for everything tonight. What's up, Connor? Fine, brother. That's good. That's good. What about me? I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Sweep Baltimore? Would love to have swept Baltimore, but can't do that. They can, however, win the series tonight. This is a big game. In my opinion, this is a big game. It's a big game for a couple of reasons. I think, one, this is a big game for Cutter Crawford. He's had a 4.66 ERA in the month of May compared to a 1-something, I can't remember exactly, in the month of April. He's really taken a nosedive a little bit. And this is a big start for him to finish off the month strong, give us a good start against a team that's a very good offense. This is a big start for Cutter Crawford. But two, this is a big start for the Red Sox. They take a series from the O's, and it's a little bit of a statement, right? They come in here, and they take two from the Orioles, probably the most talented team in our division, at home. In my opinion, it's a big statement that, hey, against their ace too. It's a big statement that, hey, we're not as easy to push around as you may think. So I think this is a pretty big game. Obviously, what's up, Robbie? Obviously, we got the Tyler O'Neill news just before the game started, so I didn't have time to make a full video, but I did look into it a little bit. It's retroactive to May 26th, which was 3 days ago. So it sounds like we're going to be without Tyler O'Neill for the next week, which, not the end of the world. What's up, Rusties? Thank you so much, man. Thanks, David. So I would guess, Boogie, it's about a week without Tyler O'Neill. We're also getting and Manuel Valdez back. In my opinion, this Tyler O'Neill stuff, I don't think it's the end of the world, which is kind of crazy to say. I think that Tyler O'Neill was hitting terribly in May. I think a lot of that had to do with him trying to play through this injury. His timing had been off for basically the entire month, just sort of randomly. And sometimes that happens with guys, but other times it's because of injuries like this. I'm hoping that, a few days off of his feet, get himself right, get himself corrected, really helps him get back to closer to what we saw at the beginning of the year. Obviously, you don't expect him to be at the beginning of the year. But I do think, what's up, Dylan? I do think that giving him some time off his feet, allowing him to sort of fully heal could really help. Yeah, I think a break will absolutely do him good. Do I think Meyer gets called up before or after the All-Star break? After, if at all this year. They might not even call him up at all this year. I could see them waiting until next year. Just sort of depends. He's hitting really well. He just had an opposite field home run right before we went live. I would say like 10 minutes ago. So we're starting to see some more power from Marcelo. He looks good. He looks good all the way around, man. I'm excited about Marcelo Meyer. I'm really excited about him. I'm excited about Kyle Teal too. He's having a lot of fun. I think Roman Anthony's a little bit further away than those two. But yeah, I every time I say it to myself that we probably won't see him at all this year, there's a pretty, not big part of me, but there's definitely part of me that's saying, hey, there's probably a good chance that we see Marcelo Meyer at some point this season. But I think best case scenario, you see him at the very end of the year. and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it with ball one to Jarren Duran. Talked about him today. Big, big, big season from Jarren Duran so far. Let Roman Anthony get old enough to drink before we call him up. Yeah, I'm not really worried about him at all. Very curious to see how we do against Burns. Same. Burns scares me, man. I believe Boston has a good chance of winning tonight. Their record on the road really speaks volumes. Plus, they definitely need to beat these top contenders. Yeah, this is a big game in my opinion. It's a big game, again, for a couple of reasons. It's big for Cutter Crawford. It's big for the Red Sox in general. Just one, to get their confidence back up, but two, I think beating not only a divisional opponent, but an opponent that's essentially on paper better than you in every single category, to me says a lot about where this team's mentality is at. So I would love to see them come out here, win a close one, win a close game. Win one that's 2-0, 3-0. Give us something like that. Hey, I appreciate that, Bob Dylan. Thank you. Yeah, one of the things that came up a lot. Oh, that's a hole. One of the things that came up a lot when I was asking, hey, how could I improve the channel is more individualized videos, more profile type videos. And so we're going to start doing those a little bit more if you guys like them. Little 3-2 count, not a bad one for Jarren Duran here. 6 pitches from Corbin Burns. Don't hate that at all. Yeah, Burns does have the same first name as me. All right, never mind. He immediately struck out. That's on me. I said something. That was on me. I said something. I think there's going to be a lot of strikeouts in this game from the Red Sox. I would guess probably upwards of 10 or 11, but they had 10 or 11 yesterday. Yeah, just laid on it. Couldn't get the foot down. It's all right. We'll get there. Willier's another guy we got to make a profile on. This dude is absolutely, I think at this point, in the running for Rookie of the Year. This guy has been unbelievable lately. He's definitely, in my opinion, propelled himself into the top 3 conversation. Does that mean he wins it or not? I don't know. But I do think he puts himself in a good spot. Richard Fitz updated ETA. I still think it's going to be a while for Richard Fitz. Not struggling, but definitely seeing an increase in ERA lately. There are clearly things that he's individually working on that the Red Sox have tasked him with. So, don't know about that one, Blue. So I think it's a little bit of time here with Richard Fitz, which I'm curious about too, because with Whitlock going down for the rest of the year, they're going to need, at some point they're going to need to bring somebody in. The hope is that they bring in someone from the outside, but if they end up bringing someone in from the minor leagues, it could very well be Fitz, but that probably won't be until after the All-Star break, if they even consider it. What's up, Skywalker? Hey, appreciate you subscribing, Daniel. Thank you so much. How am I feeling about Angel Hernandez finally retiring? Probably a good idea. Why did I say Zach Kelly could be a closer? I think Zach Kelly's got the swing and miss stuff to be a closer. You watch Zach Kelly, especially this year, he's an entirely different pitcher. His changeup's looking really great. He's got higher velo on his fastball and even a higher velo on his cutter, which he just introduced this season. I think you see Zach Kelly in short bursts. I think he could absolutely be a closer for the Red Sox. What are you swinging at, Willier? All right, not a great start. It's all right. Just the first inning. I mean, that was disgusting, dude. It bounced on home plate. Not the end of the world, though. Missed call really made a difference. Does anyone watch baseball? It doesn't exist video about the umpiring. It's pretty interesting. I think you could still be better than Fatsy. I don't know. You guys are blacked out from this game. That's ridiculous. All right, quick inning there. All right, well, not exactly the start we wanted from the Red Sox, but hey, again, first inning. It's just the first inning. How are you blacked out from the game? Do you live near? Do you live like in Maryland or something, David? Baseball doesn't exist is the best. Yeah, they are. Feels like the pinnacle of baseball channels. They're so good. Yeah, Burns isn't going to be an easy opponent to beat, but this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, right? Where we talk about this all the time, or at least I do. If you want to be above a mediocre team, you have to beat good pitching. You can't get shut down by every good pitcher in Major League Baseball. You got to get to someone, right? You got to be able to hit somebody. And if you're not going to be able to hit somebody, you're going to end up right around that 80, 81 win team. And that's sort of what the Red Sox are projecting out to be. What up, JB? That's what they're sort of projecting out to be right now. But if they want to get to, 83, 84 wins some way, somehow, the best way to do that is to start beating good hitter or good pitchers. And right now you're not doing that. Yeah, we did, Anthony. Yeah, you absolutely rocked us opening day. Appreciate that, Assassin. Thank you. Yeah, the at-bats need to be better. You need to be able to take them deep into counts, man. The key to beating good pitchers like this is not putting up 5-6 runs. It's putting up 1 or 2 and getting them out of the game in the 5th or 6th inning. Because you can't let Corbin Burns, like on opening day is a perfect example, Anthony, right? You put up 1, but you struck out so many times after that. I think it was 7 over 7 innings, right? You had 2 hits the whole game. It's like, man, that you got to get deeper. You got to allow yourself to get deeper into counts, or that's just going to keep happening. You're just going to keep getting these all-star type pitchers going deep into games with you, and you're never going to win them. All right, here comes Cutter. This is a big game for me. What's up, Brandon? How's my day been? It's been all right, man. We're hanging in there. You know how it is. What's up, Craig? Blue Jay City Connect. I haven't even seen the Blue Jay City Connect. Is it good? Did it just come out? I'll look it up. I'm sorry, I'm watching their video, trying to figure out what the Connect looks like. Doesn't even show it. Oh, thanks. Awesome. Oh, those are pretty tough. Those are sick. Yeah, it was a good start, actually. What's crazy about Corbin Burns, every time I see Corbin, I think you're talking about me, is that he was terrible in his fourth season. He was one of the most hittable pitchers in baseball. Something like yeah, that's how things go, you know? What do I think of Corbin Carroll this year? It's a sophomore slump. That's all it is. Sophomore slump. Corbin Carroll's too good of a player, I think, to be totally bad the entire year. I think, teams figured him out, and he's got to figure out a way to adjust. And sometimes that takes a year or two. Speaking of that, here's someone already crapping on Vaughn Grissom. Look, Vaughn Grissom's off to a bad start. There's no denying it. But the dude's had less than a month in Major League Baseball. Is it a fair statement to make that a team with an ace and 4 or 5 medium talent pitchers is not a playoff team in the AL East? No, I think you could still be a playoff team. It depends on what your offense looks like. O'Neal on the IL? Yeah, 10-day IL for Tyler O'Neill. Knee inflammation. is what's being called right now. Knee inflammation. We got and Manuel Valdez back at the major league level. Yeah, it's sort of like Grissom's going through his spring training right now. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, right? Because even if you want to count the games he played in AAA, he's like right now getting to a normal spring training length. We'll see what he looks like. I would say by the end of next month, if he still looks the way he does right now, we've got a problem. Nice catch, Willier. Oh my God, this dude. Willier never actually looks like he's going to catch the ball and then always catches the ball. It's so impressive. He never looks like he's catching a baseball. What up, Dylan? Dill. I saw you absolutely own a dude on Twitter today. That's awesome. He did lose 14 pounds. Yeah, you lose 14 pounds. You know what I mean? You can't get right. You're playing an entirely new position. Can we get a Brady Singer trade proposal, VOD? Yeah, we'll start doing more. We're going to start doing more trade proposals, I think, as we get into June and July. I just don't want to do too many now and then have to, like, redo them as we get close to the deadline. Can I ever do a Celtics video for the finals? No, it's tough for me because the algorithm right now puts me to Red Sox fans, which obviously is a lot of crossover, but I don't think doing all Boston sports. One, I don't have time to do all Boston sports. If I could, I would. I just don't have time. How many innings should we go without giving up a run, Cutter Crawford? I would hope all of them. It sounds like I guess. Yeah, that's crazy, Dill. I didn't even know people could do that. That's nuts. Sometimes I wish the Sox and just plain baseball players would get into the gym and actually put on muscle. No. Baseball's not a muscle sport. You know what I mean? Like with baseball, you gotta be more flexible than you are. Vinny Pasquantino hit his knee too. Man, a lot of injuries this year, huh? Like not even just pitching wise, a lot of like big injuries. Nice start, Cutter. His stuff looks good tonight, folks. That was a really, really good looking pitch to finish that off. Was that a cutter? Almost looked like that could have been either. This is what I'm saying. It's a big start for Cutter Crawford. Yeah, exactly, Connor. Yeah, Acuna was the one I was just thinking about. Acuna, there was another big one too the other day. Obviously, we have Story, Casas just on the Sox. The Braves have a couple of guys on the IL. Strider, obviously. The Angels with Trout. No way, Brandon. And it worked. Xander. Totally forgot about Xander. Bellinger? No, he was playing yesterday. He might have been hurt for a little bit, but he was playing yesterday, I think. Oh, that's right. People thought he had the same thing that Casas did, right? He was playing yesterday, so I think he's all right. You know, the interesting thing, Chris Sale's being brought up a lot right now, and he don't get me wrong, he looks fantastic, and I really truly hope Chris Sale has a full season where he looks like this because he deserves it. He absolutely, unequivocally deserves to be playing like he did after everything he went through for years with us, right? With the Red Sox in Boston. But I still think we make that trade. I still think you make that trade because there's no guarantee he's healthy with the Red Sox, especially with the injury luck they've had this year. It feels like there was almost a guarantee that he would have been injured. But two, because only 1 year left, you knew you weren't bringing him back. You knew he wasn't being brought back to the Red Sox. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you get Houck, yeah. Worst part is we're paying him. I don't think that's really the worst part. I think, again, you see, it's too early. A lot of people are already dismissing the trade as a failure. It's way too early for that. Again, you've less than a month with Von Grissom on the mound or on the field. You have less than a month. I mean, I don't know how Red Sox fans did nothing but crap on this dude for 4 years after he signed his contract. And most of it was rightfully so. He couldn't stay on the field. Yeah, I saw Maya hit an opposite field. Right? For years they crapped on this guy. The second he leaves, it's like, oh, he's a really good month. And people are like, oh, we failed. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and we're only paying him for this year. People are like, oh, they must be paying him for, like, someone the other day said they're paying for the entire contract. No, they're paying like 75% for this year. Von Grissom, to me, like, I don't know why. Like, if you're watching the games, I'm not worried about Von Grissom at all. Dude has been hitting pretty well. It just hasn't been to, it's been right to people is what I'm trying to say. Got a baby Wong. Way to take advantage of that too. That was a great play, Connor. Single into left field, overthrow on the cutoff, take second base. Love that every time. I'm going to start incorporating more gameplay talk because I feel like some people can't watch these games, so I want to make sure everyone hears it. Yeah, it's 100% right, Kyle. Yeah, and it's honestly, to me with Vaughn, it's not even just he's putting together bad quality ABs. They're just not landing. Oh my God. What luck we got there. Wow. Let's go. Come on, boys. You got to take advantage of that, Dom. Got to take advantage of that, Dom. Come on, baby. He might have had him out, too, to be honest with you. If you held on to the baseball, he might have had him out. On both of those. Jorge Mateo picks that up cleanly, or Gunnar Henderson fields that cleanly. This now becomes Dom. Dom did this yesterday on our members only stream where he kept swinging at pitches above the strike zone. Stop. You're taking away extra pitches this guy has to throw. He's only at 22. Come on. Just put the ball in play. Connor Wong's fast. Give me something. Give me a little dribbler up the third baseline. Don't swing at that. Good job. I need something from Dom Smith here. All right. Timing was there. Just ate him up a little bit. It's all right. Keep seeing pitches, baby. Yeah, you know what it is? It's exactly like MLB The Show, where he's swinging at those pitches above the zone because they look so good coming off the bat. Or coming into the bat. Off the hand. You know what I mean. Not a way to fight that one off. That was a good fight pitch. Don't love that Corbin Burns sitting there nodding to himself right now, because then that means he's got something cooking. Don't love that. Out of the hand. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you, AR. I don't know why I totally forgot that word. I don't know why I totally forgot that word. Also, it's so on brand for the Orioles to have Old Bay sponsoring them. There you go. Keep fouling him off, baby. Yeah, he doesn't want to go down without a fight. Dom Smith, his at-bats have looked pretty good lately. They haven't resulted in a ton, but they've looked pretty good lately. I love my cat, but this time of year, she sheds, probably 2 cats a day. It's crazy. There you go. Nope. No siree. Not in this house. Great pitch to lay off. Great pitch to lay off. Now get something to hit here. Just a little. Poke it back up the middle. Put it in the air. Put it in the air to left field. Oh, my God. Thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you. That's what happens, right? You put the ball in play, good things happen. Nice. 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 Let's go, Dom. Does that even count as a hit? What does that count as? Oh. All right. I like that. Yeah, we take that all day. Take it all day. The Red Sox play some Mickey Mouse baseball quite a few times a year. We'll take it when other teams play Mickey Mouse baseball. Yeah, he tried to rush the throw because he knew Connor's got some speed. That would have been close. Honestly, that would have been close regardless of if it was on target or not. Yeah, they needed to be like, yo, we're walking this dude hitting 141. All right, take second, Dom. That a baby. All right, here we go. Orioles playing a bit sloppy right now. Oh, McCann's behind the dish. Little pass ball. Dom Smith in scoring position. Vaughn needs a moment here. That was a pitch to hit. That's all right. That's all right. Nice, Jack. Vaughn needs a moment. This could be the opportunity for a moment. This is what I'm talking about, right? He's just he's putting the ball in play a ton. It's all right. He'll do all right. I still have faith in him. You know what's going to be funny is Mr. Money Mike Madness is not in the chat right now, which means David Hamilton's going to have the game of his life. And then we're all going to pretend like it never happened just so we don't have to hear it. Yeah, if David Hamilton goes yard here, we're not talking about it. Oh, well, never mind. Dom. That's like the worst thing you could do in that situation. That was possibly the worst thing you could do in that situation. Time to tweet about it. What's up, Colby? Yeah, this season in a nutshell, yeah. Are we the most stupid team in terms of baseball? For a little bit there, we weren't looking as stupid. Recently, it's kind of looked like that, yeah. I'm good, Colby. How you doing? 98 degrees. How old am I? I'm 26 years old. 26. Right? Yeah, 26. Sometimes I still think I'm like 24. Which doesn't sound like a big age difference, but it feels like a big age difference. Am I a fan of all Boston teams? Yeah, for the most part. Man, 98 degrees in Florida is brutal. It was hot when I was down there. You thought it was 35? Huh? Oh. About to have some words, King. We were about to have some words, my friend. Otani bomb? Gotta love him. No, probably not, Colby. This is just a Red Sox channel, unfortunately. What's up, Dennis? Yeah, Connor, that's sort of what it feels like. Thought I was 20. Kind of close. In the ballpark, right? I wish I had started this channel when I was 20. It would have been way smarter. Do I think the Orioles can win the World Series? Depends on how their pitching holds up in the postseason. Honestly. Who's been the most surprising player and the most disappointing player in the Celtics? God. I don't even know. Come on, Cutter. Not what we needed right there. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I know enough about the Celtics to give you an intelligent answer there. At least from my perspective, the most surprising been probably Derek White. Disappointing? Yeah, I don't know enough to be like disappointing about anything. 21-22, I'll take that. How about the most surprising and most disappointing Red Sox? Most surprising Red Sox player has been, honestly, Brandon Bernardino. Brandon Bernardino, I think we all thought he was going to be good, but man. DFA Dom, please. Hauk's a good one too, but what Bernie's been doing, because Hauk always had the potential to be where he was, right? I obviously not to the level that we're seeing right now. Even to the level we're seeing right now, I don't think anyone expected that. But for Bernie to come in, didn't start the year with the team, wasn't really someone a ton of guys talked about as being a legitimate, huge factor in the Red Sox bullpen. And he's sort of become the guy on the bullpen. I don't think anyone's sleeping on the Orioles right now. So I have to go Bernardino over Hauk. And again, there's nothing to say anything bad against Hauk. Hauk's been incredible. I just think if we're talking in terms of strictly who's the most surprising, it's Bernardino. In terms of disappointing, I would say Reese has been pretty disappointing. Reese has been pretty disappointing. I would say Grissom disappointing. It's been less than a month, AR. It's literally been less than a month. It's been like 20 games. People were telling me that Tristan Casas needs to be traded after 20 games. People were telling me Tristan Casas should never have been in Major League Baseball after 20 games. And we're gonna do the same thing with Von Grissom. He's showing good at bats. Give him time. It's definitely not Von Grissom. Disappointing. I mean, Story was disappointing. I thought Story was gonna have a monster year. Wink disappointing. That's a good one. I don't care if he hadn't played in 30 years. Well, then that's just ridiculous. You're not taking any context. You're just assuming this dude's going to be incredible. Please catch this, someone. Thank you. Right? To say, oh, I don't care if he hasn't played in 30 years. A 300 OPS is unacceptable. Huh? If someone didn't play baseball for 30 years and had a 300 OPS, he'd be crowned a god. Right? He would be crowned an absolute god. If I don't know, if Lou Merlone came back today and he hit for a 300 OPS plus in today's game, and he would probably tell you this himself, he would feel like the best hitter in the entire world. Bayo. But the problem with Bayo's contract is everyone assumed they were paying him ace money. They're really not. He's getting paid. He's really getting paid like a number 3 or number 4, and that's kind of how he's pitching right now. If Lou Merlone came back today and didn't throw out a hip, it'd be impressive. You just expected more? I mean, that's a fair statement to make, right? You expected more from Bayo. I think that's fine. Is Yoshida hurt? Yeah, he hurt his thumb a little bit ago, Mason. He's still working his way back. He should be. We got some positive news there. Should be swinging the bat soon. Ugh, that is not where you wanted that pitch. Good thing we got Cedon in center field, though. With an absolute hose piece to keep him at second base. This is a big out right here, Cutter. We got to get this one. Ramon Urias, not doing well. Abreu's been disappointing. Abreu's a candidate for like top rookie of the year. How is he possibly disappointing you? Pivetta's been disappointing. Pivetta's interesting to me because I don't know if Pivetta's a tough one for me because I don't know if I really expected him to be a superstar. His last 2 starts have been disappointing. Yeah. What Red Sox team have I been watching? Oh, not me. Prevent the run, baby. Oh. That's what happens when you hit someone. Was a great throw. Chris Martin's been disappointing. Chris Martin had a couple of bad outs, but I think Chris Martin's been much better lately. I thought he had him for a second. Oh, what a dime. Ugh. Just under him. Half a second slow. Yeah. Cutter's got to stop throwing those fastballs just like belt high. Please. (2013) Grand Slam. The 2021 playoffs were a ton of fun. I always kind of go back to that. I always kind of go back to that playoffs as like a time where some of my best memories were, because I was at the wild card game in 2021, and that was the greatest game I've ever been to in my life. So that's always gonna stand out to me. All right, please do not walk the number 9 hitter. We do not need Gunnar Henderson up with the bases loaded. What's up, Phil? Got time here to check out the Sox? Oh. Welcome in. Okay, Cutter, you have to throw a strike here. You cannot load the bases for Gunnar Henderson. You can't do it. Please. Boy, Cutter this month has been disappointing. Our playoff tickets hard to get. My mom bought so many tickets in 2021 that we got like a pre-pass, so we got to pick before anyone else. So for us, no, but normally, yeah. They're expensive, so they outprice a lot of people, which is really annoying, but So this is like worst case scenario in my opinion is having Gunnar Henderson, who's almost at 20 home runs already, up with the bases loaded. You start off the game so well. Update score. Oh, yeah. I don't know why it's doing this now. Super annoying. Just get it out here, please. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said the worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do. Like, it just, why are you throwing what even is that? Was it supposed to be a cutter? It just sat dead middle of the zone. Oh my God. Just rain the game. They should have just rained the game out in general. God. Cutter's ERA's got to be up to what? Like 4, 5? You hate Cutter Crawford? I mean, that's crazy. It's not possible. 5 runs on Corbin Burns is next to impossible. Is what it is. Yeah, it's up to a 352. Can Costas come back tomorrow? Yeah, I'd love to get Costas back so bad, dude. I'm this team, dude. Great. Congratulations, Cutter, idiot. Remember when we were arguing Houck to the bullpen? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Cutter's having a month to forget. And it's not like it's like in other series, like this game in particular, it's just that he was leaving pitches. Like his fastball was sitting 93 at the top of the zone, getting crushed. And he leaves that one open for Gunnar Henderson of all people. He leaves a cutter dead down the pipe. Gunnar Henderson grand slam is what happens. Maybe we could just watch. Maybe they'll just change it over to the. Maybe they'll just change it over directly to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I think Penrod gets called up at this year. Probably not. He's gonna take some time. Any movie suggestions? I haven't really been watching any movies lately. Bobby D in the lineup. They were a winning team with Bobby Dahlbeck in the lineup. People forget. I don't know. I don't know if Connor's calling it all. To be honest with you, it really isn't about the pitch calling. It's about Cutter not hitting his spots. I mean, he literally left that. I think it was supposed to be a sweeper or cutter just up directly in the middle of the zone. Just left it up directly in the middle of the zone. Rally hat this early. There's no rallying right now. Not against Corbin Burns. Did I hear about Tyler O'Neill? Yeah. Some Red Sea magic. That's the only thing we can bank on right now. It's Red Sea magic. That's it. Top 10 Red Sox of all time. That's going to be a long list. God. I mean, one, it's got to be Ted Williams. Two is probably Carl Yastrzemski. I would put David Ortiz 3 just because of what he meant for the Red Sox. 4 is probably Pedro. Maybe we do. Maybe it's all right. Ted Williams. Is it Pedro or Roger Clemens, number 2? Oh, in my lifetime? I don't know. That's even harder. Then Ortiz probably 1. Pedro, Ortiz, Manny, Lester, Pedroia, Lester. What am I at? 5? Do I put Rafi in there? Do I put Rafi in there, number 6? Probably not. This got to be better. I'm just blanking. No, you know what? I'm going to put Rafi 6. Oh, Mookie. I'm an idiot. Mookie 6. Mookie's probably. Okay, so David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez, Mookie Betts would probably be 3. Pedroia 4, Lester 5, Rafi 6, Xander 7. Manny. I forgot about Manny. Okay, all right, let me redo this. David Ortiz, Pedro Honestly, if we're just going skill-wise, probably... Oh, God. It's probably Pedro, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez... Pedro, David Ortiz, Mookie Betts, Manny Ramirez... 4, 5, Pedroia, 6, Lester. Yeah, 7, Rafi, 8, Xander, 9, Veritek probably in there. I didn't see Nomar enough. Pablo Reyes. Yeah, I'll put Pablo at 10. Pablo Reyes at 10. There you go. Good wood. I'm telling you, man. This is. How's Rafi doing defensively? Really good lately, actually. I would even say close to or above average defensively lately. He's been really solid. We're starting to see that outs above average tick up just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but he's still below average for the season because he was tough at the beginning of the year. But yeah, Costas should be back. Costas hopefully should be back when he's supposed to be back, which is the end of June. That's probably also when we'll get Massa. Yeah, not great shooter. Not great. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be, I would say, almost next to impossible to get 5 runs on 5 runs on Corbin Burns is going to be. They're going to have to score 5 runs off their bullpen, or they're going to have to get. They're just going to have to chip away. It's like the only thing they can do. I don't know. Oh, Cutter. I'm curious if it's time to start talking a little bit about the Red Sox pitching staff being in trouble. I'm curious. It's either that or just the Orioles are just that much better than you. It could be both, right? I mean, you play the problem is it's not like this schedule is getting any easier. You're gonna have to figure out a way. You have to figure out some way to get to hitting against these good players or Mason Miller. Yeah, if you want to burn out the entire literally burn out the entire farm system. Not being able to develop pitching. I mean, you look at it, and 4 out of the 5 guys in your rotation right now were developed pitchers, or 3 out of the 5. Let's go trade for Mike Trout. Yeah, not have him play. The game rains out. Yeah, maybe we do that. Rain delay. That'd be fantastic. Ugh, I'm going to let my cat say hi. Hold on a second. Maybe. Yeah, sweet graphic, right? I'm into the rain delay. Up in the Knights game again. Well, it's not really an ump issue tonight, versatility. It's Cutter leaving 88-mile-an-hour somethings in the middle of the zone after walking and hitting a batter. And then allowing a hit, right? That's sort of what been the problem tonight, versatility. What's up, Kenneth? We have some good rentals to move. Yeah, I know. I really don't want to talk about selling yet. I hate the idea of just giving because for me it's like what do I possibly talk about for the rest of it? What's up, Noble? Right, for me it's like what do I possibly talk about for July, August, and September? Nasty prospect in right field for Worcester right now. Who is it, Bob? Talk about the prospect? Yeah, there's only so much you can talk about, though. There's another tank. Oh, no? Thank God. Cats are kind of cute. Yeah, my cat's pretty cool. Bob's playing right field. I love it. Bring Bob back up. Let's have some fun. Trade Kenley, Martin, O'Neill, Pivetta. O'Neill had right knee inflammation, so he's going to be out for about a week. All right, I'm good. I'm relieved of my duty. 1 second. I feel the way about Bob the same way Mike feels about Hamilton. Cutter getting hit hard. Hopefully Bailey and him can figure something out soon. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler, I think will be back fairly quickly. To me, it sounds like Tyler's more so they just need to get him off his feet for a little bit and wanted someone up here. So it doesn't seem like totally crazy to me. And like I said, I actually think, Tyler O'Neill wasn't doing much. Tyler O'Neill wasn't doing much at the major league level. He's actually having a really, really bad May. And I think it's because he was trying to produce with that knee inflammation. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to get a couple days off his feet, give him something, allow himself to get right. And I think he comes back a little bit better. They not say anything about the MRI results. Yeah, it was just right knee inflammation. So it's nothing crazy serious. It's just going to be something that's going to be a bit annoying. Just honestly, just get to the 6th inning and call this game. Yeah, and it doesn't even need to be early season. You know what I mean? Like, early season O'Neill was crazy. But just give me something better. I think he's hitting like 155. He's hitting 155 this month. Just brutal. The problem is, Shooter, we just don't know where we're going to be, right? My thing is, yeah, the Red Sox are floating around 500 right now, but floating around 500, this isn't really, and we talked about this yesterday in the members only live stream, but this isn't the same path to the playoffs that it was last year, right? Last year it was every team at least in the AL that was in the playoffs absolutely deserved to be in the playoffs. There was the Orioles, the Toronto Blue Jays were the last team in the postseason, and they had 89 wins, right? This year, that's not the case. You're sitting at 500 once you lose this game. You're going to be probably 3 games out of a wild card spot, right? You're probably going to see whoever ends up in the last place of a wild card spot. My guess would be sitting probably somewhere around 84, 85 wins. So when you look at it and you have the conversation of whether or not it's buy or sell, it becomes a really interesting one because, again, it's not the same conversation we had last year. Last year it was, can this team get to 87, 88, 89 wins? Right? The Red Sox, they just got to get to 85. If they can get to 85, you're talking about a conversation, a legitimate conversation about the postseason. So you get to the deadline, and sure, as maybe as fans, we're sitting there, we're saying, hey, if we make the postseason, great, but we care about 2025. But if you're the general manager of this team and you've sort of been taking heat the entire season long, you're trying to keep a manager who wants to compete. He wants to compete now, and you have the pieces to stay 500. What is adding in a legitimate number 3 pitcher do? Probably brings you to 84 wins, right? Or what is getting a more reliable right-handed bat back in this lineup do? Probably get you closer to 84 wins, right? And all of a sudden you're talking about something that could make a playoff run. We need to have a true sell-off. I don't think you do. You know what pieces are coming up. And the problem with, hey, we're going to need a true sell-off is, what are you really going to get for a lot of these guys? Nick Pivetta right now is not worth a whole lot. Kenley's going to be worth next to nothing. Chris Martin's, even though he's been solid, probably not going to get you a whole lot back. Tyler O'Neill's the only one who'd have like legitimate value, but even he's had a terrible May. What's he going to look like when he comes back? Is it worth giving these guys up for what you're going to get in return? I don't know, right? Christian Vasquez had a lot of value because he was a catcher and he was a very good catcher at calling games. So I sit there and I think, okay, is it worth selling off if you're sitting at, let's say, 62 and 62, right? You're saying 62 and 62. And you sell off Kenley, Pivetta, O'Neill, and Martin. And you're sitting there, you get, the biggest thing you get is you get a top 25 pitching prospect for Tyler O'Neill. Does that really change the trajectory of the next 2 years for you all that much? Not really, right? Not really. So that's sort of what you're dealing with. Is you got to figure out a way. If you're gonna sell, you got to sell to make it worth it. The reason teams fully sell, like if we see the Blue Jays fully sell, they're gonna sell Vladdy and they're gonna get a big haul because that's how you sort of kickstart, right, getting to a different spot. I don't think. I just don't know if even if they're a 500 team, if they're 3 games out of a wild card spot at the deadline, and they say to themselves, okay, if we add a legitimate starter, if we add we talked about it in the members only, like a Brady Singer, a 4 or 5 guy, right? He's not going to cost a lot. It's not going to be a big splash, but what he's going to do, he's going to give you innings. He's going to give you around 4 ERA. 12th or 14th, one of the two shooter. I think it's the 12th pick. Because we were sort of dead middle last year. Caglioni's not dropping to the Red Sox, I don't think. Kyle, yeah, that's kind of the only way you're gonna get someone. I mean, really, that's the reason you sell. The reason you sell is to get big pieces back. Like the Marlins they have the opportunity to really sell if they can get some of their pitchers healthy. And then on top of that, you look at it too, and you say, okay, if you're looking at the draft, there's a possibility, you draft a college starter. That guy could be up here in the same amount of time as it would if you traded Tyler O'Neill for someone who's already in a system. Hypothetically, right? 2 years. So it's interesting because there's not really anyone on this Red Sox team that's like, man, this is going to get us a haul at the deadline. Not really. Tyler O'Neill's the only one who could be that guy, and he hasn't been that guy so far in May. We'll see what he looks like when he comes back. And then that's a conversation. Nick Pivetta, probably not getting you a haul. Kenley Jansen, definitely not getting you a haul. This guy, Dom Smith, no shot. Right? Chris Martin, maybe something, but I don't think it'll be worth too much. Relievers, unless it's a truly buyer's or seller's market, don't get you a crazy amount. They get you some, sure, but so the conversation of the trade deadline gets just much more interesting. Might get us Gallo. I don't think it gets us Gallo. I don't even know how Gallo's doing this year. We don't need another strikeout lefty. Right now, I think your needs are you need another starting pitcher in here because I think we talked about it the entire year, right? We just don't know what these guys are going to look like starting long term. How hungry teams will be for top relievers. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying for a 37-year-old reliever who's shown signs of regression a little bit this year in a couple of outings, right? I don't know. Dombrowski won't overpay for a big pen arm, but then who do you take from the Phillies, right? They're not going to give up any of their top pitching arms. No way. So who do you take from them? That's going to make it worth giving these guys up. Because again, if you're 3 games out of a wild card spot, right, and 84 wins gets you in there, and you're on pace for 81. Breslow had a great line at the end of it. It made me mad when I first heard it because it made me mad when I first heard it because it was talking about how he doesn't want to add this offseason because he's thinking about wins in the future. But the line was, you have to weigh wins now for wins in the future, right? You have to weigh what you're going to do to the team now and what you're going to get for the future. And man, it is pouring. Just call this game. My God. Get Cutter off this field. So if Breslow's sitting there and he's weighing, right? He's weighing wins now with wins in the future. Do any of the players that they have, he's not good no more? That's just not true, AR. He's good. He's a good reliever. He's a good closer. In fact, he's a top 10 closer in Major League Baseball. Middle of 5, so it's an official game. Yeah, that's probably exactly what they're doing, actually. Well, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a short stream tonight. Kenley Jansen, saying Kenley Jansen's not good is just not true. What's up, Alexander? The O's aren't comfortable with Kenley, but they have Aiken, who we kind of got to yesterday, but has been solid all year. Cano, who's been good this year. Turner's has not been good this season. How you doing, Steven? You know, it's always a rough game when you have to show defensive highlights. Like the Red Sox always do that. When they're down nothing, they got to show the sponsored highlights like this one, the JetBlue travel highlights. It's like always when the Red Sox are down defensive play. Normally say Don Rafaela. How would I rate Boston's chances of winning this game? 4%. Yeah, one's from yesterday too. Yeah. If they trade Jansen, would they make Slayton a closer? I don't know. They have Liam Hendricks coming back, so whoever it would be temporary. Generous? There's always a chance. My favorite thing about chat though, the thing about you guys is when the Red Sox are doing bad, we immediately have the conversation when Meyer, Anthony, and Teal are coming up. 2026? No, that's too far. It might be your optimism, Alexander. I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably Meyer. I think we have a chance. It's not a huge chance, but it's a chance of seeing him in 24. Oh, Teal be up late this year. Yeah, Teal and Meyer, I think, have a chance of coming up this year. I don't think we see Anthony at all this year. I think Anthony comes up mid-2025. That'd at least be my guess. No, they're not going to wait that long versatility. They won't wait till late next year. No way. Not with the way Meyer and Teal, not with the way they're playing. Meyer specifically looks like he's good to go in Double-A, honestly. Like Meyer 128 WRC plus, 293, 339, 447. Striking out the lowest amount of his career. Isolated power, second, third highest of his career. Just hit a home run today. Yeah, they don't even update for that stat, so it's going to be above 130. Why burn them for this? Why burn for this year? It won't be burned, right? Even if I'm saying like they'll bring them up in the last month, that's not going to burn anything. It's not going to burn anything. They'd still be qualified rookies next year, and they wouldn't count anything towards their service time. They brought them up towards the end of this year. Their clock starts game 1. Yeah, but they would still be a qualified rookie next year. Like it wouldn't affect their arbitration, wouldn't affect their years of control. If they came up in September this year, no, because Cedar Rafaela just did that. He came up last September. Wilyer Bray is the same thing, and this is technically his first full year. This is technically his first year under a rookie contract. Basically, it's 7 years. Yeah, but you were saying they're coming up late 2025 and full go in 2026. I think that's too late. If the Red Sox added the trade deadline, then what do they get? Yeah, I think it has to be a starter. I think you have to get a starter because you're going into uncharted territory with the guys you have in your rotation outside of Pivetta. And you're already seeing some regression from some of these guys, right? You're seeing what we're seeing right now from Cutter and Bayo is what you normally see from a second-year starter is these guys, league's starting to figure them out. Now they have to make the adjustments. And we got to figure out, okay, how do we adjust to that? That's normally what you see from second-year starters, right? Unless they're incredible, insane, Cy Young candidate players, Hall of Fame track players, right? You're going to see these up and downs in your second year. Problem is, that didn't hit him. Problem is, right now they're the rotation. Right? So it's so much more highlighted because of that. So I don't know. I think you have to get a starter. You need to get someone in here. At least ease the pain a little bit. And it doesn't even need to be, you don't really need a ace caliber starter. You just need someone who could be a 4. Movie Moneyball, love the movie Moneyball. Sasha strikeout. Yeah, runners in score position has been a problem. Like a Lucas Giolito. Yeah, exactly. Like a Lucas Giolito. Give me a 1-year Lucas Giolito. That'd be great. Yeah, runners in scoring position continues to be a problem. They had one game in this series where they were solid with runners in scoring position. And honestly, I don't even know if they were good with runners in scoring position in that second game or if they just had big hits. I honestly think they just had big hits. I think they still scuffled. At least we have Connor Wong, ladies and gentlemen. At least we have Connor Wong. Are they going to replay that? Probably, right? No, he's out. Oh, no. He's not out. He's safe. Rafi. No, they were solid runners in scoring position yesterday. Yeah, Devers missed the tag. Does he come off at all? I can't tell. I think he comes off a bit. I honestly can't tell. It kind of looks like like he came off a bit. That's it right there. If he comes off at all, they still got him, but he definitely beat that throw. Sucks. Reese is gone? Yeah, I'd assume so. I yeah. I think he might have come off. Right in between, he lets his hand up, and then Rafi still got him on there, even for a split second. I think Rafi might have gotten him on the come up there. It's like right as he pops up, as he's trying to get his other hand in the bag. Wong won't be a starter when Teal's up in September. That's not true. Connor Wong will probably get a majority of the playing time, even if Teal cut does come up this year. I mean, dude, you're up by 4 with Corbin Burnes on the mound. Yep, he came up. Way to hold on to it, Rafi. At a baby. Way to keep that tag down, huh? Maybe we get a little momentum shift. Hey, let's put up 2 against Burnes. Let's see if we get 2 runs against Corbin Burnes, huh? Let's see if we can just get 2. There's no point. Yeah, there'd still be a point in calling him up. Because you could always mix and match DH. Yeah, yeah, but well, that's how it works. Had he missed that, that would have been Rafi's fault. Had he got it, because he got it, Rafi did a good job. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Take the win. Who knows how many we'll get this game? I'm surprised they aren't airing the Hall of Fame induction at all, actually. I don't know, Blaze. If they're around 500, I think they could be. If they are, I would say if they're anything more than 4 games out of a wild card spot, they're selling. If they're anything above 4 games, it becomes a more interesting conversation. I'd be surprised if they went with their closer in this game. They have no reason to go with the closer versatility. They're up by 4. If the Sox come back, maybe. Red Sox could look into. Unfortunately, to be honest with you, I don't know if the Red Sox are going to go after anyone big this offseason again. In all honesty. Hickey's a good. The problem is Connor Wong's doing it at the major league level. He's hitting well above average at the major league level. He's throwing guys out at a major league level. It's tough to say he won't be here because of prospects coming up, because we don't know what those guys are going to look at or look like. Right? Hickey's been hitting well, but he's not a great defensive catcher. Johan Fran Garcia's out for the rest of the season. Brooks has been fairly solid, but again, we don't know. He's in what? Low A or high A? He's got a lot of time. He might even be in the FCL. No. Garcia was in the FCL. All right, come on, Vaughn. Looks like it stopped raining a bit. No way, right? No way. What'd that hit? The back of the top of the foot? That's what it looked like. Please don't be a broken toe. AR, that's kind of a tough thing to be like, oh, his stats are great, but he's an expected batting average, so he sucks. Right? That to me, the expected batting average works in certain contexts, but to be like, oh, he's putting the ball in play, it's getting down, but he's an expected batting average that's below average, must be terrible, is such a to me is such a terrible argument, because it's like, I do not care about what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing something better. And in all fairness, in this series alone, he's had 2 hits that should have been home runs that just happened to not get out because of the ballpark. Grissom's coming out of this game. No chance he's staying in. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, Foxborough. His whole Savant page hitting is blue or gray. Again, there are certain things to take in context, though, right? Like to just sit here and be like, oh, the results he's putting up on the field suck because he's hitting blue or gray. To me, is a different story. If he was struggling right now and he was hitting blue or gray, I'd be like, well, it's probably not realistic that he's going to come back and do well. But if he's proving it wrong already, like, I don't know. I just have such a problem with the expected statistics. He's not striking out a lot. His batting run value is 6, which is in the 76th percentile. His base running run value is 1, which is in the 92nd percentile, right? Expected batting average is above average. Bat speed's above average. Slugging percentage, expected slugging percentage, we're going to talk expecting, is above average. His expected weighted on base is above average. I think he'll be all right. What is base running value based on? I would probably assume it's based on like caught stealing. Like, I don't know the exact value. I know it takes a positive, negative value to every play that you're involved in. So I would have to imagine, it takes first to thirds on there. I'd imagine it'd have to take pickoffs, caught stealing versus steals. There's only so much you could probably do off of base running value. All right, Brandon, have a good one, my friend. I'm way behind. Bo Bichette, I would be unbelievably shocked if the Red Sox traded for Bo Bichette. I might just stop making YouTube videos if we get Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette to me makes very little sense for the Red Sox unless they're like a game out of a wild card spot fighting. You know what I mean? And they're trying to push their chips all in this year. There's no way they go for Bo Bichette because he's here for another year. He's probably not just a DH type. You're not taking Rafi off at third base for Bo Bichette. You got Story coming back under contract next year for whatever it's worth. You've got Meyer coming up. It just doesn't make any sense. Story needs a change of scenery. What are you going to trade him for? That would probably go down as one of the worst trades in Red Sox history because There's just either way he gets healthy, great. The only way you make money off of him or you make value off him is to take most of his contract, and then you're paying him to play for another team. Right? So it's like there's absolutely no point to it trading him unless you can find a deal. Yeah, Burns will probably go 7. Got Story in the IL for the next couple of years, man. I just want one healthy year from Trevor Story. Yeah, trading Trevor Story makes 0 sense. Because at least when you traded Sale, right? He was healthy, everything was good, and he only had a year left. With Story, you've got what, 2 or 3 years left, and he's very not healthy. He's about as unhealthy as you can get. Right? So picking up Trevor Story, picking up Chris Sale's contract, and getting something out of that made sense because you only had a year left. You would have to eat. Story's making what, $20 million a year until 2027, I think, is when. I'm trying to explain right now. Who are you going to trade Trevor Story for, E? Please tell me. He has no future with the Red Sox. Great. How do you get rid of him? You're the GM of the Boston Red Sox right now. You're saying he has no future with this team. Great. What do you do? Because honestly, if your plan is, we'll trade him for a top prospect. Which top prospect and how? Oh, we'll trade him for a bag of peanuts. Great. So you're going to trade a potential Gold Glove winner for nothing because he's been injured for you. Right? Some former top prospects. Which team's going to give you former top prospects for the rest of Trevor Story's contract? Which one? Right? You don't touch his contract at all because it'd be really dumb. Sale Jr. Okay, so yeah, you're not answering my question, E, because there's no answer, right? Because you could sit here and you could say, "Oh, he's a problem. Oh, he's a problem." Great. What do you do with him? Right? If you think he's a massive problem, how are you going to get rid of him? Because you don't think he's sitting there? The Rockies, if they're desperate, the Rockies won't give you anything. They didn't want to pay him to begin with. The Athletics, like a Kelnick, you're willing to give up the rest of Trevor Story's contract, but okay, so who on the Athletics would that be? JJ Bleday? No, he's having a good season. Brent Rooker? No, he's having a good season. What's up, Pac-Man? Mason Miller? Hell no. Ruiz? He's been solid. Prefer to pay Story all that money? You just came in here and said F the Red Sox. You think we're going to have a conversation? Story may be a problem, but you're stuck with them. Yeah, it's just you can't just sit here and say, "Oh, he's a good for nothing nobody." Trade him. And the other thing too, AR, is you expect the Athletics to pick up that contract. That would be the highest contract in Athletics history. No shot. So again, the Athletics are off the table. So now you go back to the drawing board. Which team's going to pick up the entirety of Trevor Story's contract for anything legitimate? Dodgers? No. Dodgers got Mookie Betts. They got Gavin Lux. What's up, Mike? No shot. There's 0 chance the Dodgers pick that up. So, okay. Dodgers aren't going to take it. Who's next? Mets have Francisco Lindor. Yankees have Anthony Volpe. Next. Like none of these make any sense. Story can play second base. The Yankees have what? They have 2 infield prospects coming back up. In what's his face? Switch hitter. They got Torres. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Wouldn't they rather pay Torres, who's been healthy and has performed in the Bronx, than pay for Story, who hasn't been healthy? Mets have no one at second base. Don't they have Brett Beatty? He's been playing third base, but can he play second base? And again, if the Mets have told you, hey, we're rebuilding, they aren't even paying Pete Alonso, the face of their franchise. They haven't even touched Pete Alonso. Again, why would they pick up Trevor Story's contract? Seattle would take him. Seattle has spent money on one player, Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez is the only player the Seattle Mariners has spent legitimate money on. You're talking about $60 million minimum, right? Because then Trevor Story can opt in, and you get another extra 2 years. You got J.P. Crawford, although he's playing shortstop. Giants, who they have? Nick Ahmed and Estrada. Are you playing second base? What's going on with our Sox? Cutter Crawford. Cutter Crawford's been going on lately. And there you go. The Giants' best prospects is shortstop. So you sit here and you say, you almost guarantee a team would take Story. There's no fit. There's when you add in the contract, there might be fits player wise. There might be fits player wise throughout the league. No one's taken up his contract. And the Red Sox, it would be stupid for the Red Sox to go out there and say, there's a minimum $60 million left on his deal. We'll take $40 million of it. Because then you're just playing $40 million. And AR, weren't you just complaining the other day about the Chris Sale Von Grissom trade? You've done nothing to prove me wrong. I'm not sitting here defending Story's play. I'm sitting here saying it's impossible to trade him. How does that make me a fanboy? Come on now. Anyone got an often injured pitcher they might want to trade Sale for? Basically take a big contract for a big contract? Yeah, see, that wouldn't make sense. Chris Sale was good when he's playing. Chris Sale solid in 2020 or 2023. Sorry, 106 ERA plus. Played a total of 11 games before that, between 2020 and 2022. How much of Story's contract is left? Okay, so you've got this year and then next year $22.5 million. Then he's got a player opt out. No shot. He's opting out of this deal. Which it would be absolutely asinine for him to opt out at 33 after everything he's been through over the last 2 years. So that means you've got 3 years left at 20, 22 and a half next year, 25 million for the last 2 years. Like no one's taking that. It's like 70 million, 25, 25. Yeah, like $72 million is left on his deal. 72 million. Have the Red Sox only had one hit tonight? Yeah, I still think Rusney Castillo is way worse. The Nationals could take Story. AR, come on, dude. We're talking about not just a fit, but the contract itself. That's $72 million. The Nationals are not shelling out $72 million for a 33-year-old. You're not. E. We are not talking about what the player is doing on the field. We're talking about whether or not the Red Sox can get rid of him. You've done nothing to tell me how the Red Sox can get rid of Trevor Story. We're not talking about whether or not he's playing or whether or not he's not playing. Why wouldn't they pay one player? Because they haven't. Right? They paid who? They paid Strasburg. That didn't work out. They paid Corbin. That didn't work out. You really think they're going to sit here and they're going to say, oh, okay, so Strasburg didn't work. Patrick Corbin didn't work. Let's take a shot on Trevor Story, who's also been injured for the last 2 years and still is $72 million, except this time he's 33 years old. Where's the logic? Everyone keeps saying it. The only way you get value out of Trevor Story is either if you take the money, and the Red Sox would be kind of dumb to take that on that much money left on your deal unless you're getting some sort of superstar prospect, or he has a MVP caliber season, not even an MVP caliber season, just a regular season in 2025 where he's healthy. Thank God you got Willie Abreu on this team. Bogarts for Story. Yeah, that's essentially what it would have to be, versatility. It would have to be, you would have to take on all of his contract to get anything out of value of him. And whatever for bets. We'll give you Story's contract, and we'll give you Meyer, Teal, and Miguel Blaze for Mookie. As long as you take on the contract. Yeah, the Dodgers wouldn't do that if the world was ending tomorrow, the Dodgers wouldn't do that. It's crazy to think if Cutter just didn't hit that guy and give up a hit to the 9-hitter, this game's probably a whole lot more interesting. You can sit there and bash him, but you have no solution for it. That's all you've done. You've sat there and you've said he doesn't play, he can't play, he's only played, he can't play. Okay, great. What do you do? See, but yeah, okay. We're just gonna let you rant, buddy. Chris Sale could go back to Colorado. We're just not gonna talk about it. They're not challenging, right? They can challenge. Yeah, we're good. Kind of see why ownership doesn't want to commit long term with most players. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to find a contract in Major League Baseball that's like worked out, that's long term. He also doesn't give us value, sure, but again, you'd be trading him for nothing. So what's the point? Yeah, Harper's a good example of it. Like I said, there's just not. It's tough to find those contracts that are worth that are worth it to 30-year-olds, like big contracts. Padres are a prime example of that, by the way. Xander, Yu Darvish, Freeman's been solid. It's a good one. Wait, how old was Betts when he got paid? 27? 28? Verlander was like a 1 or 2 year deal, though. I'm talking like long-term contracts. Simeon, how old was Simeon when he got paid? What's my take on Craig Breslow so far? I'm kind of middle of the road on Breslow. We'll see. I mean, there's just not really a sample size for Breslow right now. So it's tough for me to give you an answer one way or the other. I've liked what he's done so far. I think a lot of it's been positive. Mugi's 28. All right, so that's not in the conversation. Yeah, Verlander I wouldn't put in that category because Verlander, what was that, a 2 or 3 year deal? Who was I looking up? Oh, Simeon. What are you talking about? Verlander got a 7-year deal? No, Verlander got a 7-year deal with the Tigers. He signed a 2-year deal with the Astros and another 2-year deal with the Astros again. Yeah, that was with the Tigers. Yeah, I never said there weren't any. I'm just saying like when we're talking about why ownership, like that. Who was that? Was that that Christian? Do you think Devers' contract will be worth it? I don't know. It depends on what other contracts look like. Yeah, I've already yes, okay. AR, I understand. Semien was 31, yes. Was Corey Seager in his 30s? I don't think Corey Seager was in his 30s, right? Trey Turner, too. I think Trey was in his 20s, wasn't he? Because he was sort of... He was a conversation with... Trevor. Yeah, he signed at 30. But he wasn't, I mean, he ended up fairly solid. He finished the season fairly solid, but I mean, yeah, he's solid this year. Last year's first year, I wouldn't say that's worth the money you got him for. 109 OPS plus, 266, 320, 459. Like, wasn't it a big thing that he was good or that he was so bad that they like had to clap him on? How'd that happen? It was a grand slam by Gunnar Henderson. You got Trey Turner's autograph? That's a sweet autograph to have. Yeah, it really sucks, Cutter. It really sucks. Cutter gave you Rendon's contract. That was not worth it. Come on. Oh, you have Rendon's autograph. We have Japan's #1 draft pick. That'd be sweet. Do you live in the DC area, AR? Garrett Cole was a good contract so far, yeah. Problem is a lot of these contracts are in their early stages. North Carolina. Trisagaz's autograph, that's crazy. Like a lot of the ones you're bringing up, right, are in their very early stages. Cole not so much. Cole's got what? He's got an opt-out this year, which I don't think is going to happen. Or does he have a mutual option after this year? I forget. Either way, he's staying with the Yankees for a couple more years. But like Simeon's in his what? Second or third year with the contract. Trey's in his second year. Freeman's in his second or third year. So it'll be interesting to see how those age. Like right now they look pretty good, but I'm curious as to what they look like. You know, like Freeman's I think will age well. Simeon, I don't know. Trey's will be really interesting because Trey's got a lot of years left, and you know he's not a great defender. We'll see what that kind of looks like after a while. Coles is a player opt out. Thank you. There's no way he takes that, right? He's hurt this year. No way. David Fletcher did what? Cole is a weird deal where if he opts out, they can pick up his option for the next 2 or something. It's odd. That is a weird contract. So it's sort of like either way, he's not he's not leaving the Yankees, which I'm kind of glad for because oh, you get him in college? That makes sense. Very strange. Cutter only gave up 4 hits. One of them just happened to be a grand slam. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Wait, did anyone see? Yeah, I was just about to say that, AR. Did anyone see that? Red Sox prospect Richard Fitz has a perfect game going for Worcester through 6 innings. 66 pitches, 52 strikes. That's crazy. Meyer went deep again. Oh, yeah. So if they pick it up, is it more money, versatility? That's sick, AR. What's up, Jason? They had another year, make it a 10-year deal. Oh, so he's definitely opting out, and then they're just going to pick up the option. That makes sense. Free agent Cole would be wild. Man, that's pretty crazy, AR. Bergman's. kind of a sweet baseball name. Meyer up in the MLB in September. I think there's a small chance. I don't think it's super likely, Jax. I think more than likely we see him in early days of 25. I don't think we see Meyer at any point. I would say there's probably an 85% chance we don't see any of the big three this season, with a 15% chance that we see one of them. I think it's even less that we see two of them. Schwarber's one of those guys that I just wish the Red Sox kept. It probably doesn't make any sense. It probably doesn't make any sense for the Red Sox to hold on to him now, especially with the outfield the way it is. But man, it would have been a lot of fun. Least favorite MLB player ever? Manny Machado's up there. I don't like Manny at all. God, was there anyone I hated David Wells when he was on the Yankees. Could have been DH instead of Yoshida. Yeah, that's true. Right now, I mean, genuinely right now, first base production. $25 super chat from Mr. Daddy Mad. I'm going to say the full name because $25 is worth it. He said, Corbin, thanks for the great Red Sox content. Much better to put a few dollars in your pocket than John Henry's. I appreciate that a lot, Mr. Matt. Thank you so much. Can we get some claps to the chat, or at least like the message, please, for Mr. Matt? He's the absolute man. I appreciate him a lot. Thank you a ton, sir. Smith adds no value versus Bobby. Smith's good defensively. I don't know. There's not really any solution right now, to be honest with you. Dad, I'm mad. Oh, is it that, or is it the other way around, Dad? Dad, I'm mad would make a whole lot more sense. Have a good one, Ethan. I just stopped by my friend. Yeah, right now there's just no matter which way you slice it, you're not getting production at first base. I'm really, really interested. Like, I would be, if the Red Sox played this season, this exact season, 10 times over, like, what does it look like? What does it look like with Casas healthy, Story healthy, Giolito healthy, Massa healthy? Do they look about the same, or they look better? Bob's not a good defender. He was top 3 in defensive runs saved while he was up here at first base. So he was good this year. I'm pretty sure he's still, like, this year, not overall. Well, I mean, it's tough to, you know, it's just recent sample size for me with Bob, because he took a lot of pride in getting better defensively, and he has. So I think he absolutely could. Speaking of Bob, look at this majestic picture of him in the Blue Sox. Look at that majestic picture of him. I think without the injuries, it'd be a lot better. Yeah. First and second for David Hamilton, baby. What was that, a walk? I'm a full inning behind. Hold on. Red Sox Hall of Famer right there. Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like. That's exactly what that looks like. Yeah, baseball game. If you're a diehard fan, baseball games are tough for a first date. I think, Jason. No, I agree, Jax. It's one of those seasons where like injuries have been so much more prevalent than they should be, right? So you can't help but play a little bit of that what if game, right? At some point, obviously, you have to take, hey, you need to be in there and you need to figure it out regardless of who gets injured. But man, how many years are we gonna have? You know, our shortstop, our probably the best overall, probably the second best overall hitter on the entire team in Tristan Casas going down. The one guy you sign in the offseason going down before the season even starts. Like, how many times is that going to happen? So in my opinion, it's going to happen. There might be a what if video on my channel at some point. But yeah, Jason, I don't know if she wants to go to a game, I guess you bring her to a game. I just don't know how you avoid that. I still wish the Red Sox had gotten Burns. I really do. For the price tag that the Brewers ended up selling him for, I would have loved to have gotten Corbin Burns. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly, Jack. So you see these other teams, and it's like, man, that's also an option, AR. Yeah. Yeah, position yourself in a way where it looks like you're looking at her. Yeah, it's hard to put it in perspective like that versatility, but when you do, it sound like if someone, again, you go back to this, but if someone had told any of us the Red Sox would be without Casas, Giolito, Story, they wouldn't have O'Neill for a full year so far, and it's May. Devers would have been out for a pretty significant amount of time at the beginning of the year, right? And based on all the projections we saw at the beginning of the season, I think a lot of people would say they're probably one of the worst teams in baseball right now. But the fact that they're at 500, oh my God, I thought Hamilton just put that in a gap. Oh my God. No one expected a full year from O'Neill. That's fair enough, but I don't think anyone really expected O'Neill to be on the IL twice within the first 2 months of the year. Especially not running headfirst into our highest paid and best player, right? Those are the type of things you don't expect. So I think we all expected O'Neill to have some time on the IL, but 2 stints, one for an absolute freak injury. No. Yeah, please say done. Capitalize on a mistake here, huh? Was that Grissom who took the walk? Good. They're 0 for right now with Rising Scorpions. They're 0 for 4. Well, now 0 for 5 because of the. I thought Hamilton was going to get that. I thought Hamilton was going to get to that and put it in a gap. He didn't. Home plate umpires shouldn't call check swings. I mean, he obviously went, but still. At least you don't have to face. At least you don't have to face Corbin Burns anymore. There's a positive here. Rafael is command of the strike zones. I think honestly gotten a little bit worse lately. Like it's been it's been a little bit worse lately. Perfect through 7. Should we throw the Worcester Red Sox away? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he's pressing too. It's just everyone on this team is pressing right now. It's so tough. It's gonna be. So you look at the schedule coming up for the Red Sox, right? And let's say Tristan Casas can come back. What? We'll say late June. So we'll go with. We'll say like the last week of June, right? Why is the MLB app so difficult to work sometimes? It's ridiculous. Just give me a schedule button. How is it this difficult sometimes to give me a schedule button? Fitz in AA? No, Fitz in AAA. Okay. So here's what I mean here. All right, so you get done with today's game, Baltimore. You face the Tigers, who honestly have been essentially the same team as you this entire year. That'll be a good matchup. The Braves come to town. Not excited about that. You get a little break with the White Sox. Then you face the two best teams in baseball right now, in the Phillies and the Yankees. The Blue Jays, again, probably at your level. The Reds, probably at your level. Blue Jays, Padres. So what you get in the next month, right? So let's say in the next month, you are facing 1, 2, 3 teams that have a much better record than you do. Right? Then you've got the White Sox, who you've got 4 games against. Thank God. The Tigers are exactly the same as you. Blue Jays are about the same as you. Reds, I think, are about the same as you. I don't really know how the Reds are doing. Let's see if I can navigate the MLB app again. Of course, Chase Anderson's out there. Why wouldn't he be? Standings. Reds are having a tough season. Okay. So in June, you're facing a lot of teams that are playing equally to you or better than you. So if this is sort of the test, in my opinion, June. Stay afloat in June. You get Casas back in July. You probably get Massa back at some point late June too. What's up, TD? How you doing, man? Right, so June to me, if you stay afloat in June, I think you look a little bit better. The problem is you get into July and yikes. Yankees, Royals, Dodgers, Yankees, Mariners. Well, tough beginning here. All right, well, GG's. End of August? No, he's making good progress, TD. He'll be back in July. He was taking ground balls on the field a week ago. That was his first walk the entire season, James McCann. So when's the next watch party? I'm looking at the schedule right now. Take a peek. Milliken said what? Oh, it was his first walk all season. I mean, come on now. At least the Red Sox have Willie Abreu. Richard Fitz is through 7, folks. Can Lynn be gone by mid-June? I think it's possible, yeah. Bobby Dahlbeck helping the Woo Sox with a home run. Still see him with better odds? Yeah. I don't understand really why. What's the progress on Tyler O'Neill? Nothing. He's fully shut down. He's on a 10-day IL. I guess I'm not off awesome. We have Tanner out. True. Yeah, he's on the 10-day IL with knee inflammation. It is also ridiculous we're not playing the Yankees until mid-June. No, I don't. You honestly don't really need to do either, TD. He's productive, but I don't think you give him the bag. And you don't think you have to trade him. Do you think the pitching staff is just running out of steam or just coming down to earth or what? Honestly, 700, here's what I genuinely think happened. I think the league coming into the season, no one really had a book on what the Red Sox were going to do. What they ended up doing was something no one expected, right? No one really was predicting the Red Sox to go with all these off-speed pitches, focus on specific off-speed pitches and highlight those. And it worked really well. But now you've got a full month of the season. You're starting to play teams for a second time, right? You're starting to get these guys coming in with books, with tapes, with a game plan against what the Red Sox plan was coming into the season. So it's not so much that they're coming down to earth. I think other teams are adjusting. Now you're in that sort of cat and mouse game, right? With a lot of these second-year pitchers is how do they make the adjustment to teams adjusting to him? Is this normal Boston talk? What do you mean is this normal Boston talk? I don't understand the question, Matt. No, I'm not from Boston. We a knuckleballer? That'd be sick. Think Roman Anthony be you think Roman Anthony would be an August call up? No. One of the interviews I watched of Kenley made it seem like he didn't really want to be there anymore, but was just going to do his job while he still was. I mean, yeah, think about it, Jason. If you were working a job and they flat out told you to your face, the second can get rid of you, we are going to get rid of you, and we've already hired your replacement. He's just waiting in the wings. We're just getting him healthy. Probably not somewhere you'd want to be either, right? Not from Boston, yeah. Doesn't really mean I know less about the Red Sox, though. If you're looking for Red Sox content, I should be able to help you out, though. Matt Waldrop, is that what his name is on the Padres? I don't think he's actually very good. Matt Waldron? That's it, Matt Waldron. Yeah, he's not very good. He's a 4.26 ERA, 137 WHIP. He's pitched a lot of. Oh no, he hasn't pitched a lot of innings this year. Never mind. He's been starting. I didn't realize he's been starting for the Padres. Some high prospects for a rise? I don't think so. They have 2 errors and still destroying us. It's crazy that they destroyed us on one swing. Obviously, it doesn't help that the Red Sox offense missing. I honestly don't even know how to recap these series. We're in May. last year I started getting being like, man, I don't know how to recap these. in September, October. I don't know what to do. I was just gonna look something up. Oh, Arise. Oh, I didn't know they traded Woo-Suk Go to the Marlins as part of that. Dylan Head, I think, was a pretty decent prospect. Yeah, he was a number 6 prospect in the Padres system. Man, they also traded their number 9 prospect and their number 13 prospect. Maybe you should just lean into that then. That'd be sick. Who's Romy pitch hitting for? When's the MLB draft? It's right before the deadline, I think. July 26th, maybe. Might be too late. MLB draft. It is the All-Star break. Yeah. July 14th. I was 10 days off. You want one of the Seattle pitchers without touching the A prospects? That's not going to happen, unfortunately. First day of the All-Star break. We'll probably do a couple of mock Red Sox drafts before the actual date. Hall of Fame weekend's the lottery for the draft. I thought they already. Oh wait, we didn't get the lottery, right? No, AR. We'll probably no. That'll drive me nuts. No, it'll probably be. We'll probably just do like the top 3 or 4. Pick 12, yeah. Everyone not making the playoffs in the lottery. Yeah, it's been tough, Majestic. I wish I could respond in Spanish. Yeah, the offense with the inconsistency has been brutal. And yeah, it really was. It was one bad pitch to Cutter from Cutter that really sort of ruined his entire night. If he just not thrown that pitch, it's probably a much different outing. It happens. Oh, AR, what does that say about you? um, that'll put us at. Do we count members only live streams into the Red Sea Radio record? Wait a second. How do they win the? How do they already predict who's not making the playoffs at the All-Star break? That doesn't make sense, versatility. Like they pick next year's draft. They do it from last year's playoffs. Oh, so I thought they already did. No, I thought they already did the draft lottery, and that's how we ended up in 12. Yeah, so there's the Red Sox can't win the lottery, right? They already isn't Cleveland's picking first, right? Home versus road record. Well, then we are now officially 6-3. Yeah, Cleveland has the first pick, I thought. Which is crazy because they're having a nuts year and they get the first pick in the draft. At least we have Rob Refsnyder, though. At least we have Rob Refsnyder. Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of teams that you could knock off before the trade deadline, but I mean, you never really know, right? Usually it's Hall of Fame weekend. Interesting. I wonder if because I remember they did it. I think they did this year versatility at the at winter meetings, right? Yeah, I think they did it at winter meetings. When is the MLB draft lottery? Yeah, Rusty, things are not going well. Things are not going well. MLB draft lottery. Yeah, it was. It was during the winter meetings, December 5th. Yeah, we got pick number 12. Let's go. Any chance we talk about Pete Fatsy and how bad he's been? Maybe at some point, yeah. We might make a video about it. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to, I think, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's philosophy, honestly, or if it's, there's a couple of different things it could be, right? It's easy to blame the hitting coach for this, but I think a lot of it too is you've got such young, inexperienced kids essentially throughout the entire lineup, right? You've got three guys who this is their first full season in Major League Baseball. We've got two guys in Connor Wong. Honestly, you could do four if you want to count David Hamilton. You've got Duran and Connor Wong who are in their second full seasons in Major League Baseball. And then you've got so much shuffling, it's hard for these guys to get footing, right? You've got Dom Smith, Garrett Cooper who just came in. You moved around Valdez, Pablo Reyes, who are no longer on the team. You moved down Bobby Dahlbeck, who is no longer on the team, right? You've got all these sort of different players. Rafi, what are we swinging at there, dude? Duran's still been fine. Duran's been probably the face of Boston. I made a video today talking about it if you want to look at it, TD. But, right. So to me, it's tough. It's tough to sit here and fully just simply blame the hitting coach. I think there's a lot more to it. What do we even get for Pablo? Cash. Sounds like you're the new Reds reloading. What do you mean, like the Cincinnati Reds? Yeah, I saw that, E. I'll remember that. I tried to answer your question intelligently, and you said I'm avoiding the truth. Crazy. Crazy, right? Like I didn't E, here's the problem, right? You tell me I'm avoiding the truth. I'm not. Your opinion is not the truth, right? That's the thing. And I'm not saying my opinion's the truth. I'm just saying there's a lot of different factors here that you also have to consider before you just go, Pete Fatsy's garbage. So Luis Robert's been bad against Richard Fitz? That's a really encouraging sign. At least two pieces in the bullpen? Yeah, Robert's hurt, though. It's still cool to see it, though. It's still cool to see it. Who do you think should be our first pick? I honestly, to be honest with you, I haven't looked into the draft too much. I got to do that soon. Who makes sense for the Red Sox? I personally, I would like to see them go after either a. Man, it's tough, right? I mean, the obvious choice here is give me a good college pitcher. I get so nervous with pitchers because they're so hit and miss. Is that out too? No, it's not. It's so hit or miss, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the best one is. That's a really good sign. Like you would say immediately that pitching would be the number one priority, but unless it's like, in my opinion, unless it's a college arm that's going to make an impact in the next couple of years, 20, 25, 26, right? Take a chance with was Tanner high school or college? I think Tanner college, I think. Need them in the farm. Yeah, again, if you can get a solid, if you can get a solid college arm in the first couple of rounds, do it. Do it. I'd love to get that in here because then again, it's yeah, I thought he went to college. Thank you, versatility. Right? Like it would be fantastic to get some college arms in here because then you sort of you talk about accelerating the pipeline. That's one of the best ways to do it. Get the college arms. Those kids are what, 22, 20, 21 years old. They've had some experience. It takes them a couple of years and then perfect. But I get a little bit worried when we start talking about high school pitchers because there's so much. I mean, at this point, you got to assume they're probably going to end up with Tommy John at some point, right? With the way things have been trending. I don't know. I get too nervous to draft a high school pitcher in the first round. If I was in charge of the draft, again, if there is I haven't looked too much into it, so I can't give you a knowledgeable answer on which college arms could be even available for the Red Sox in that slot. But I will say, if there is a solid one available, that's who I'd go after in the draft. And I think Breslow. I have a feeling Breslow's kind of pushing that a little bit because in the first round, in my opinion, you take the most talented prospect or the most talented prospect that's left in the draft because again, you know, especially if they're high school kids, you just don't know what that trajectory is going to look like. I mean, you could always use more hitters, in my opinion. Like, you can never have enough talent in your minor league system because, you know, they don't even have to be. they don't even have to end up being good, right? They just end up having to be solid in the system, and you can use those guys to go get proven major league pitching. So if you end up going, say, first round, you take whatever the most talented player is, whether that be a high school position player or a college pitcher. And then the second round, you go and you grab another pitcher, and then you grab a position player, and then you grab a pitcher, and all of a sudden your first 4 rounds, right, you got 2 solid position play prospects, 2 solid pitching prospects. Wasn't Honeycutt wasn't he in last year's draft? And what, did he not take the deal? I thought I saw his name last year. Pitching prospects are way more valuable than trading than hitters, though. Could be. No, he's a junior. Was there someone like that in the in last year's draft? Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, very silly. They could be, and they normally are, but the problem is they're just much more volatile, right? So if your plan is to go out and trade, my point is it gives you options, right? You would if you keep trading it. Like, look at the Angels, right? They had a full draft where, hey, they didn't have a lot of pitching. They drafted only pitchers. How many of them actually worked out? Very few. What was that, the 2021 draft where they drafted only pitchers? Very, very few have worked out. So it's not always a smart strategy to just take in baseball, it's tough to sit here and be like, they need to take in the biggest area of need, right? You would want, in my opinion, to have a focus on the biggest area of need, but you can't go in there and be like, we're gonna draft the first 5 rounds only pitchers, right? Because you look at the NFL draft, and the Patriots needed a quarterback. They went out, they got a quarterback in the draft, right? NBA, their needs, usually that's what you go for, right? Because, well, not recently in the NBA, because a lot of players can play a lot of different positions now, but that's sort of the concept here, right? The problem with the MLB is you draft these guys, and then they're in the system for what, a minimum of a year and a half, 2 years, depending on when they get drafted out of college. Yeah, exactly. It's the hardest sport, so that's why it's tough for me to sit here and complain about the drafting ideologies of any of these guys, because we don't know if they're going to work out until 2029, 2030, realistically. Have a good one, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. So I don't know. I don't know what the draft strategy should be. If I was in charge of the draft, I'd take, in the first round, I'd take the most talented player. Can I look at Honeycutt's stats real quick? Yeah. I mean, this game's over. What was his first name? Drew Vance. Wow. I mean, he's probably not coming down to the 12th round, though. No, maybe he is. He's been good, huh? Grissom got a hit. The game literally closed out on me because I opened up an ad. Dang it. What does he play? I had to go back to the game because I want to see the replay of Vaughn's hit. Don't even play it. Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting, Brent, if you could trade draft picks. Well, it looks like Grissom's fine. He's running first to third. 12 defensive runs saved in 40 games is nuts. What does he hit, right? You're righty. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. See, yeah, this is what I'm saying. I don't know versatility. We can't talk about it because it's going to drive me nuts. I hate it so much. I hate it. Why does he grab his helmet before every single time? It's crazy. Well, GG's. That was kind of close, actually, a second. All right. Well, not going to win every game. I think what this series did was just sort of highlight just how much better the Orioles are in basically every single department. But you know what? The only thing I wanted from that series was don't get swept, and they didn't get swept. They didn't get swept, and that's all that matters, right? All that matters is at the end of the day, they're going to lose series. They're going to lose series throughout the year, especially to a team that's been fully healthy and red hot like the Orioles. Don't get swept, and you probably end up in a better spot than I think a lot of people would expect. 28-28. I mean, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. And it'll be interesting to see sort of how we wrap this up in a video tomorrow. But that's not really what we're here to talk about. We need the Yankees. Yeah. Give us the Yankees. That's a great idea. But either way, I mean, a lot of you guys were here for the entire thing, which is crazy considering in the first inning or the second inning, this game was over. I know versatility. Sometimes I turn off the game and they do better, and I just keep the game off. And I should have done that in this one. That was my fault. But either way, I mean, you guys were here. Crazy for a majority of the game. If you're here for half the game, if you're here for an inning in the last inning, I appreciate all you guys being here. We have a ton of fun on these live streams, whether we're arguing or agreeing. We always have fun. It's all in good spirit for the most part. So I appreciate all of you. Mr. Dad, I'm mad. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. For all of you guys who are renewing your memberships today, I appreciate you as well. For everyone just being here, I appreciate you. It's been a ton of fun. I always have fun doing these. Next live stream might be a bit different. I think they are off or during a day game Wednesday. So it might be a little bit different next week, but we will I'll make sure you guys are updated on that so we have the latest information available. I appreciate your appreciation. Well, I appreciate your appreciation for my appreciation. Thank you. Either way, guys, if you're sitting here and you haven't considered hitting that sub button, we do this once a week. We also talk Red Sox content every day but Saturday. So make sure you hit that sub button. Like button helps out a lot on these live streams. Check out the latest video. It came out today. It's a full breakdown of Jarren Duran and what he's been doing so far this season. I think you'll enjoy it if you like these live streams. So I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for clicking on this one, and I will see you